Hello students and welcome to my channel. My name is Atharo Deshmukh and today we are going to learn Nutrition in Plants Part 1. So let's start our lesson. Nutrition in plants. In class 6th, you learn that food is essential for all living organisms. You also learn that carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals are components of food. Miss students, in class 6th, we learned that food is a very essential factor or a thing which help us to survive on the earth. Without food, we can't get energy and we can't able to do any work. That's why food is a very essential thing to help us to live on the earth. Okay. You also learn that carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals are components of food. Me students, we have also learned that what is carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals, and this carbohydrates, proteins, fats and vitamins and minerals are components of food. These components of food are called nutrients and are necessary for our body. Means students, these components of food. What is the component of food? Carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals are components of food. This component of food are called as nutrients and they give us energy. They are necessary for our life because without this factors, without these components of food, we can't get energy and we are not able to do any work. That's why these components of food or nutrients is very important. Okay, all living organisms require food. Plants can synthesize food for themselves, but animal, including humans, cannot. Me students, we know that every living organism, from a small ant to a big elephant, need food because food give us energy, and due to energy we can do work. Okay, but these human beings and animals are not able to prepare their own food or synthesize their own food then how does they get their own food? We know that plants make the food. Doesn't plants are not depend on the animals or human beings to make their food, and that's why plants make their own food. Okay, but animals and human beings can't make their own food. Then how does they get their own food? How does they get the food? They get the food by eating plants or eating any other herbivorous animals. Means students, the animals and human beings are directly or indirectly dependent on the plants. Okay, let's move to our next part. This is the first topic of our lesson, and that is the topic of mode of nutrition in plants. Okay, plants are the only living organisms that can prepare food for themselves by using carbohydrates, means by using water, carbon dioxide and minerals and sunlight. Means students, the plants are the only living organisms which make their own food, by the process of photosynthesis. And what does the plant need in the process of photosynthesis? Plant need in the process of photosynthesis, that is the water, carbon dioxide, minerals and sunlight. The raw materials are present in their surroundings. Means what is the raw material in the process of photosynthesis to make the food for plants? That is the water, carbon dioxide, minerals and sunlight. And these all things the plants get from their surroundings. Means water from the soil, carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, minerals from the soil and the sunlight from the sun. Means these are the raw materials which are present in their surrounding. The nutrients enable living organisms to build their bodies, to grow, to repair damaged parts of their bodies and provide the energy to carry out life process. Means students, the nutrients, what is the nutrients? The components of foods are our nutrients. Means these nutrients help us to repair our body parts. If any of our body parts is damaged, then we we eat the food which gave us energy, and due to which we recover as early as possible. Means students, these nutrients are used to are helpful to build their bodies and grow the repair and and grow and repair our damaged parts. Okay, and these nutrients are also useful to give us energy, and due to energy we are living we are living from many years. Okay, nutrition is the mode of taking food by organism and its utilization by the body. The mode of nutrition in which organisms make food themselves from simple substances is called autotrophic. Means students, what is nutrition means this whole lesson is depending on the nutrition. Means then what is the nutrition? Then the nutrition is the mode of taking food by the organisms. Means the organism eat carbohydrates. The animals or human beings or living organisms take that food and utilize that food to and get them energy and work properly. Okay, means nutrition is the mode of taking food and organism and utilization in the body. Means when the living organism take any food like carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals, if that living organism take that living organism utilize or digest that food in their body and they get the energy. The mode of nutrition in which organism make food themselves from simple substances called autotroph. Means students, this process is nutrition. Okay, then the animals and human beings can't make their own food, they are dependent on the plants. Then how does the plant make their own food? Plants make their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Then the plants are autotrophic. Why they are autotrophic? Because they make their own food, they are making their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Means students, the animals and human beings can't make their own food because they can't do process of photosynthesis, but plants can do it. That's why the any living organism which make their own food are called as autotrophs. And on the earth there is only green plants which make their own food. That's why only green plants are the autotrophs. Okay, therefore plants are called autotrophs. Animals and most other organisms taking food prepared by plant, they are called heterotrophs. Means students, in the first part we have studied that the human beings and animals are directly or indirectly dependent on the plants. Okay, then the animals and human beings are depending on the plants. Means they are not autotrophs, they are heterotrophs. Why they are heterotrophs? Because they are depend on the plants to get the food. If the plant doesn't make food, the animals and human beings can't live. That's why heterotrophs are those living organisms which make their own, which are depend on the other organisms, on and on the earth there are human beings and whole animals heterotrophs, they are not autotrophs. Okay, now we may ask where the food factories of the plants are located. Means students, we get that the plants are making their own food by the process of photosynthesis. But where does the plant are making this food? We know that what does the plant need to make the food, but where the plants are making the food? The plants are making the food in the leaf, we know that. But how does the parts, how does the water, minerals, sunlight and carbon dioxide reach to the leaves? How does they reach? And they must be reached to that part, because if any of the thing doesn't get to plants, then the plants are not able to make their own food. That's why each and everything is important in the process of photosynthesis to complete it. That's why the every thing must reach to it, then how does it reach? And these all things, these all questions we are solving, we are going to solve in our next part. And in the next part we are going to study photosynthesis, food making process in the plants. And at last, if you like my video, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.